This is a story about Jimmy B and Julie too. Two good buddies with nothing better to do. Sit around the bar, get drunk and talk some shop. When they get started, it's really hard for them to stop. Julie B with likes of beer on ice. Jimmy B thinks a Bloody Mary would be nice. Once they decided to call on a couple friends. Thought this chat should be something doesn't end. Singing, come on, drink storm with me. Come on, drink storm with me.
Cheers to you, Steve. Thanks
Cheers.
for joining us.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you on board, Steve. So, one of the things we like to do for our members is to make these informational, get to know a little bit about you, but also about the partnership. So we're pleased to have Steve with Nationwide Coils, one of our partners, many partners that Synergy has. The only coil partner, I should let me get that out there. It's the only coil partner we have. But we do have other partnerships and other disciplines. But Steve, before we get started, we got millions of people that are going to be dialing in. So let's we hope. So let's talk a little bit about Steve. So give us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, what led you to Nationwide Coils, etc.
Well, I grew up in Westchester, New York. I'm one of 5 boys. My whole family has been in the air conditioning industry. My uncle and my grandfather were one of the first oil companies in Westchester, New York, and one of the first companies to start installing train equipment. My father's a master plumber. My uncle is an air conditioning guy. My other uncle's an air conditioning guy. So it's something that I grew up with. I was always out in the truck from when I was a young boy on the weekends. And, the HVAC plumbing the lifestyle was all part of my upbringing. And being one of 5 boys, we were all involved in that. So, HVAC has been a big part of my life since I'm young. And, actually, it's funny. Of the 5 boys, 4 of us are in the air conditioning industry today. So we decided to stay in it. And so I graduated high school and I went to trade school. And I joined an air conditioning company where I spent most of my time doing large residential and light commercial jobs. And in early 2010, I met Ross Stevens, the owner and president of Nationwide Coils. And we linked up and said, let's get together and see if I join the team and we can move forward. And that's what I did. And however many years later here, it's been about 12 years now. So I've been doing this for quite some time.
That's great. So was this trade something growing up as one of 5 saying, oh, this is something I really want to do? Or is this something Dad said, hey, listen, kid, you're getting in the business? So which one was it, or a combination of both?
Oh man, he put no pressure on us. No pressure on us. It was never you were forced into the air conditioning industry. So that's what I found funny about it. It was natural because my father never pushed us like that.
Well, I would think that your background coming from the field then and what you're doing today really is a nice segue, right? So when you're talking about speccing out coils and things of that nature, you were there. You were out in the field having to deal with some of this. So it's got to be real helpful to you.
Yeah. So when I joined Nationwide Coils, because when you're a contractor and it was light commercial and larger scale residential, I wasn't exactly sure where the fit was, but I figured it out pretty quickly. At that point, we did mostly custom coils, water coils, hot water coils, steam coils. It wasn't long after I was there that we got into condenser coils and direct replacement coils for OEM equipment. So in that regard, my training in the HVAC field allowed me to transition into this without having a database and to move forward into developing a database for Nationwide Coils for direct replacement OEM coils. So I was hands-on with that from day early on at Nationwide Coils. And so, yeah, it definitely played a big role in me being able to fulfill what was needed.
I want to go back and ask you a question about being one of 5 boys. You learn a lot about people based on their birth order. So where are you in the 5?
I'm the 3rd.
Oh, okay, now we understand. Now we got it. And I'm curious.
That obvious.
Yeah, oh, we know everything we need to know about you now.
I guess I want to get a little bit to your products and what you offer. So I'm a Synergy member, and I know there's coils everywhere. I mean, where do you help out? If I'm a contractor looking for a coil, tell us a little bit about the types of coils that you can provide our members.
So we offer all types of HVAC coils, water coils, steam coils, refrigerant coils. And so it depends on which product you're looking for. So if you're looking for condensing units, air-cooled chillers, air handlers, stuff like that, we have a very large database, like I said, so we can work off of model numbers and serial numbers. So for example, if you had any RTAA or any RTAC Trane air-cooled chiller, with the model and serial number, we'd be able to pull the Trane coil numbers and know what coils go in that unit, and those drawings are already on file. And that goes into Carrier, York, Johnson Controls, McQuay, and the bigger the equipment, the better our database is.
Okay.
So anything 30 tons and up, we have a very, very large database where we can pull drawings from. And so that's for the members that would be based across the United States where maybe we don't have a presence. It really helps being able to have that and not necessarily having to see every unit that you're selling the coils for. We also have employees based throughout the country. So for things that aren't strictly model and serial number, we have guys that can go out to the site and measure the coil for the member, provide it, and stand behind it. So whether it's people that are customers, members that are in our area or outside of our area, we have ability to help where a lot of people may have trouble doing that.
Okay. And a lot of our members are using another one of our partners, XOI, where they use their phones to take videos, and a lot of it is geared towards nameplate data. So from what you're saying, look, if a technician or somebody hits a nameplate, model number, serial number, you can at least, typically for most products, you can pull the coil information from the nameplate.
Yes, and not only that, we have the drawings available as well.
That's okay. This is.
We like to see trends.
Yeah, it's business as usual, Steve, and people just coming and going.
Yeah, that's.
Tell them you're on the Today Show. You can't be.
Yeah, exactly. Where were we? I lost my train of thought.
Oh, just that basically we shoot the nameplate. If a technician shoots a nameplate, model number, serial number, in most cases, it sounds like you can track down the coil.
Yes, and especially larger tonnage equipment. Larger tonnage. When you're getting into more the light commercial, the bent stuff, that's not our specialty. But for the bigger tonnage equipment, we have a very, very large database. So a tech could take a picture of the model and serial number, and a lot of times that's all we need. Sometimes we'll need just quick verifications, but through that we'll be able to tell. And if we know, we know, and if we don't, we'll be the first to say it.
It seems like the fact that you've got people kind of around the country, and that when needed, you're able to come out and do the measurements, that would be a big benefit and a positive to the members. What are some other things that kind of set you guys apart that our members would say, oh, I want to work with them?
Well, you pretty much can get a hold of us anytime. A lot of people find that. I mean, I answered my phone this Saturday. It's a little crazy sometimes, but we always answer our phone. We're fun to work with, and we're an honest group, and we work hard to provide the members with the best possible service. We offer a high quality product, and we stand behind it, and we're always available. So I think it's a win-win to work with us, and we hope that more members do.
So Steve, regarding the coils, members might want to know, well, where are they being manufactured? And in general terms, what kind of lead time are we talking? I'm sure it varies, but where are your coils made?
It's been a trying time, definitely since 2019. Our coils are made in Tennessee. Okay. So we had some growing pains like everybody else getting through the labor issues, the supply chain issues, but we're fully operational now in terms of expedited production. For for the most part. So we're offering 5-day, 10-day, 15-day, and 20-day expedited. And our standard is hovering right around 30 business days. So if you need a coil nowadays, we can come through like we were previously, and we're working on getting our standard production down to a 25 business day lead time. So we got a little bit of work to do there.
Have you found, you mentioned the supply chain issues, I know we've seen that, getting rooftops or air handlers today, the lead time on some equipment is so long. Are you seeing an uptick in people deciding to replace coils because they can't get, let's say, a new package unit, but they can get a coil maybe quicker than they get a rooftop unit?
Absolutely. It's certainly driving our market. And what I can speak of that I'm seeing that's a little weird is I had an example of a train RTAA. They chose to replace the condenser coils instead of getting a rental chiller just to buy them time until their new chiller came. So that's probably a job that we wouldn't have gotten in 2018. But in 2022, you can get jobs like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We've seen the same thing. We've had more of those types of things that you never would have envisioned 4 years ago.
No, it's never. That would have never happened. But it did, and that's not the only time. It's been other occurrences. So a flag or a red flag or seeing that is a little weird.
So tell us about your coils, the technology, MC, HX, the all aluminum coils. So what's going on in the world of coils that our members should be aware of?
I'm sure the members are. I mean, it's been around for a while now, and a lot of the manufacturers went with microchannel coils. They're all aluminum. We don't manufacture microchannel coils. We opted out of getting in that, and we do copper tube aluminum fin as standard.
The decision to do that was based upon what? Is it just more durability, reliability?
The reason for the manufacturers to move towards
well, from your perspective, why you decided not to get involved in that and to do all aluminum?
It was a new part of the industry. The OEMs were going for it. It's not necessarily, we're not OEM based. We're not looking for that business. So it wasn't something that our customers were saying, can you provide microchannel coils? And we had heard some things about it. So at that time, just putting an investment in microchannel wasn't something that suited us.
But you can do the conversions, correct?
We do the conversion. That we do. I was out there doing one this morning. And I mean, there's benefits to the microchannel coils. It's reduced footprint, reduced refrigerant, higher heat transfer, increasing that SEER for the OEM. So those have been some of the positives. But I'm down here in Florida. I've been based down here in Florida for over 8 years now. And Florida's kind of like the front lines of the air conditioning industry. If you ask me,
they run a little bit in Florida, don't they? The air conditioning systems.
They run with a lot of salt, and their time in use in Florida is significantly more than time in use in various parts of the country. So this equipment really gets tested, and it gets tested from corrosion to runtime to high temperatures to high loads. So back in 2016, I'd say, we started getting a lot of requests for these, and so we started doing the conversions. And since then, we've been spending our time building up that database for microchannel conversions as well. So, and we're extremely well-rounded with that. So again, that's a model and serial number thing. And you can offer your customer an option as opposed to going back to the microchannel coils. Why do the customers want to get rid of the microchannel coils down here in Florida and in other parts? Because we do them all over the country. It's difficult for an average repair tech to repair them. And if you have somebody who's skilled enough, if they can get it to hold, it usually doesn't hold for a long period. So, those are two things that are addressed with copper tube aluminum fin. I mean, you can repair copper tube. So the air conditioning industry has always been based on serviceability. So if equipment goes down, we're able to repair it, right? until that part comes in, we get it running. The serviceability aspect in microchannel was lost in translation. It was more of an automotive thing that they switched into the air conditioning industry. And, you know, anybody's been out there on a roof trying to make a repair to aluminum and the wind blows. I mean, temperature, there's just so many variables into getting a solid repair to aluminum. And it's just very difficult. So people have new equipment, customers, end users have new equipment. Their microchannel coils are going bad after 2, 3, 4 years. The contractor's telling them, well, there's not reliable repairs, or we repaired it and it already went bad. And this equipment's a lot of money. So if it was your equipment, they're looking at ways, is there another option for me? And we offer that option. So it's been a lot of fun doing the microchannel conversions. And there is some things, there's usually minor repiping. There's an increased refrigerant charge. But outside of that, we've made our designs to look really clean and not look Rube Goldberg. And, you know, the customer has coils that will last for a long time and be able to be repaired in the future. So hopefully it could last the rest of the way with their chiller.
Yeah, you know, that's really important. And for those members that maybe haven't done a lot of those conversions, the things you mentioned about the additional piping and refrigerant charge, I assume that's something your team would kind of walk them through and have them be ready on the lookout for that type of stuff?
Yeah, that's something we're going to alert to right away, Jim. And then that charge is done via subcooling. I know what general range it's in, percentage above what the original charge is. So we have a good idea, and you dial it in via subcooling.
Well, one of the questions we like to ask everybody that's on our Synergy podcast, we have a good friend of ours and someone we've used for leadership training, Steve Thomas, and he talks about, you know, it's important for people when you're busy, you're working hard, you have to find ways to fill your tank to keep you as a person energized. So when Steve's away from Nationwide Coils and answering phones on a Saturday, what do you like to do outside of work? What fills your tank, and what do you get joy out of?
I love racing. I'm a racer. I love racing. I'm not the best racer by any means, but I love it. I love watching it. I'm a big Formula One fan. And then I competitively go-kart when I can. So it's not your indoor go-karting. It's outside. It's a good group of guys and girls, and I have a blast doing it. So I look forward to that outside of, I have an 18-month-old son and a wife. So I love spending time with them as well. But
so you got to delve deeper in the go-karting. So did you have
it's a blast. Don't push me, Jim. I'll keep you on for an hour.
Yeah. So I mean, do you have your own go-kart, and how fast have you gotten this thing up to?
You know, there's different levels of it, so I try to stay realistic. I'm not getting younger, I'm getting older. So mine goes about 60 miles an hour. It's a 4-stroke Briggs & Stratton engine, and everybody knows Briggs, and it's very reliable, and everybody races the same engine, so the maintenance cost isn't that high, and it's a lot of fun. It's competition, and overall, it's very safe. You're hitting those 60-mile-an-hour speeds on the straightaway, and otherwise you're lower than that. But it's outside, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm just going to call you Speed Racer from now on. And for all the older people on the podcast, there's a cartoon, Old Speed Racer.
That was my favorite cartoon growing up. Steve, does your car have a name?
No, it doesn't have a name. I don't have a name for you. It's
I see a contest in your future.
Yeah.
Put it out there to all your friends. You know, that sounds like a lot of fun. You mentioned fun earlier, saying that Nationwide Coils is fun to work with.
Yeah. What
is it like to work there? What makes it fun? Tell us a little bit about your culture.
It's a great group of people to work with. You know, you don't dislike having to be on the phone with the different employees, any one of them, because they all bring something unique to the table. We have a good relationship. There's a good vibe between everybody. There's not a lot of different personalities, all button heads, and we work a lot in unison. We're all based all over the country. I'm down in Florida. James Filaro's up in Manhattan. Brennan Vaughn is in Houston. Chris Wright's up in Chicago, Ben Denny's in Memphis, and then we have the other great team of employees at the sales office in New York. So most of the year we are all spread apart, and a lot of our communication is done via Zoom or phone calls until we get to link up at certain points in the year. So it's nice to feel that camaraderie even when you have some distance in between, because anybody who works primarily on their own knows how that is, and you have to keep going and be self-disciplined. So it's to get that freedom is fun too. To have a bunch of people that really work hard and are devoted to the company is great. And at the Christmas party, we're gonna have a lot of fun when we see each other.
What's the thing you miss the most about not being in New York?
What's the thing I miss most about not being in New York?
Is there anything?
Yeah, is it Italian food or pizza? Like,
No, really just my mom and my dad and my brothers that are up there.
Yeah.
So that would be it. It's just the family.
I'm sure they would like to come down and visit you in like January or February when it's
Oh,
nice.
my mom and dad came down here. I don't know if they were invited to move down here. Everybody loves Raymond episode where the radius of how far you want your parents outside. She said they broke the radius, hon. They broke the radius.
Well, we really enjoyed spending some time with you today and getting to know you a little bit. We really appreciate the partnership that we've built with you and the team at Nationwide Coils, and we know our members, after seeing this, will do a couple things. They're gonna be making sure they reach out to you guys for all of their coil needs, and they're gonna come up with a name for that go-kart. So be on the lookout for that as well.
I appreciate it. I'm going to put that on the go-kart if we come up with a name, and we appreciate all the Synergy members 100%. We look forward to working with as many of them as possible. And thank you both for having us. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank
Enjoyed
you.
it.
All right.
Good
Enjoy
seeing
the
you.
week. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Come on, drink storm with me. Come on, drink storm with me.